Women over 30 have zero chances with Korean men. Zero. Everyone says it. The internet says it. Korean mothers say it. Even you believe it. Every single one of them is wrong. 434,900 marriages in 1996. 222,400 last year. Cut in half. The woman left, but the men are still there. And 1 in 10 of them married a foreigner last year. I'm going to show you what Korean men were trained to want. Why the training just fell apart. And at the very end, I'll tell you the one sentence they say about women like you when no one else is in the room. The auction. I'm a Korean man. I've sat across from enough women in this country to know exactly how this system eats people alive. Let me describe a Korean blind date to you. A man sits down at a cafe. He's wearing his best shirt. He's nervous. He wants to make a good impression. But the woman already knows his credit score, his father's job title, his apartment district, his military rank, his college entrance exam score from 15 years ago. All of that was sent to her mother last week. Her mother approved him before the coffee was ordered. He doesn't know any of this. He thinks he's on a date. He's actually at a job interview he never applied for. One guy I know did this 47 times. 47 blind dates, 47 background checks, 47 coffees where he was already approved or rejected before he sat down and he never knew which one. That's not dating, that's a livestock auction with espresso. And his brother, he went on over 100. That's not a joke. Korean men average 12 of these before they find someone. The unlucky ones hit triple digits. Now here's the thing. You hear this and you think that poor man, hold that thought, because I'm about to flip it. The checklist you don't know. You've got a checklist too, you just didn't print it out. The jawline, the soft eyes, the styled hair, that perfect single T rolling down that perfect face in episode 12, the romantic walk, the back hug, the forehead kiss, you want the poster. And I need to be really direct with you here because this is the part that's going to sting. The second you show up wanting the poster, you become the same system wearing different clothes. Same auction, different auctioneer. He's been performing for his teacher since he was 6, for his sergeant since he was 19, for his boss since he was 25, for 47 women and their mothers since he was 28. You really want to be number 48? Honestly, I was that guy. I believed in the performance. I thought if I looked right and hit every mark and checked every box, I'd earn something real. You know what I earned? An evaluation. The face passed. The body passed. The family background passed. But nobody ever asked what I wanted. I was a product on a shelf. Good packaging. Nothing inside. Now, before you feel bad for me, don't. Because this story has a turn. And the turn is you. But not the version of you that showed up with the poster. The real one. The one the system never planned for. Stay with me. The number you're afraid of. Let's talk about the thing you actually came here to find out. The age thing. You're thinking it right now. Fine, the system is broken. Great. But I'm 38. I'm 42. I'm 51. None of this applies to me because I'm too old. Okay, let me ask you something. Too old by whose math? The system says 27 is the deadline for Korean women. The actual average first marriage age for Korean women right now is 31.6. The average age of a first-time mother in Korea is 33. 46 out of every 1,000 women aged 35 to 39 gave birth here last year. The system says 27. Reality says 33. The maternity wards say 38. So, whose math are you using? Because the Korean women who were supposed to follow that math already burned the calculator. But here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. His mother still uses the old math. She sees your age and she hears a clock. Not because she's evil, because the only equation she was ever taught was years left to grandchild. That's the only formula she has. A friend of mine was seeing a woman. Good job. Kind. They made each other laugh. She was 34. His mother's first words were not, Is she kind or do you love her? His mother said, she's already 34. When is she going to have the baby? Not if, when. That's not a mother asking about love. That's a project manager checking a deadline on a human being. And here's where it gets interesting. Because her son, he stopped listening. Not because he stopped loving his mother. Because after 47 background checks and 47 scorecards and 47 women who measured him before the appetizer arrived, he realized something. The math doesn't work. The math never worked. The math produced a country with 0.75 babies per woman and the lowest birth rate on the entire planet. That math is a failure, and he knows it. What he actually sees. So what happens when a Korean man who's been graded his entire life sits across from a woman who isn't grading him? I'll tell you what happens. He panics. He doesn't know what to do. Because every woman he's ever sat across from was doing arithmetic in her head. Apartment value, annual salary, car brand, father's job. How tall are you? What company? What rank? And then you sit down and you ask him what he does for fun. Not for work, for fun. And he freezes. Because nobody has ever asked him that. You think I'm exaggerating. I'm not. My friend with the 47 dates? After all of that, he met a woman from Canada. She was 38. She asked him what music he liked. That was the whole question. What music do you like? He told me later he almost cried. Not because the question was deep, because it was the first question in his entire adult life that had nothing to do with his value as a product. That's not romance, that's oxygen. That's a man who's been underwater since he was 18, finally breaking the surface. And you did that. Not by being young, not by being thin, not by being fertile, by treating him like a person instead of a spreadsheet. You know what that cost you? Nothing. You know what it's worth to him? More than a 200 million won apartment in Gangnam. Why your age is the weapon international. Marriages in Korea hit 20,800 last year. Third straight year of increase. 1 in 10 marriages now involves a foreign spouse. That's not a trend. That's a crack in a wall that's been standing for 60 years. And your age is not the thing keeping you out. Your age is the thing that got you in. Let me explain. A 23-year-old shows up in Korea and she's excited. She's got the fan account. She's got the phrases memorized. She's vibrating. And a Korean man looks at her and sees another performance he has to give. Another audience. Another scorecard. Another version of the same system that already broke him. A 38-year-old shows up and she's calm. She's been through enough to stop pretending. She doesn't need the poster. She doesn't need the tear. She sits down and asks a real question and waits for a real answer. That calm? In a country where everyone is performing? That's the most terrifying thing he's ever seen. And the most attractive. Because it means she doesn't need him to be a product. She just needs him to be there. And for a man who's been a product his entire life, just be there sounds like the most radical sentence in the Korean language. The sentence. So let me tell you now, the sentence Korean men say about foreign women over 30 when no one else is in the room. It's not she's sexy. It's not she's exotic. It's not she's easy. The sentence is, she doesn't make me perform. 6 words. That's it. In a country where every first date is a job interview, every relationship is a performance review, and every family dinner is an audit, those 6 words are a revolution. It means the system lost. It means 47 blind dates and 47 background checks didn't work. And 1 real question from a 38-year-old woman did. Your age is not your expiration date. Your age is your proof of survival. Proof that you stopped performing. Proof that you know who you are without someone else's checklist telling you. In a country full of products, that's the rarest thing on the shelf. Not youth, not beauty, not fertility. Presence. You. Being there, not auditioning, not filtering, not performing. Just there. Tell me in the comments, when was the last time someone made you feel like you had an expiration date? Stay real. because that's what I crave. This is Sibong Records. See you in the next video.